Hey folks, ready for Wheeze and Geezer TV? Wheeze and Geezer TV is brought to you by nobody. You know, maybe someday that'll change, I don't know. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Merry Christmas, folks. We are here at my beautiful house. And yes, that's a car wedged in my window. We're here to talk about my fully functioning kitchen using the Jpipe mod. Just makes cooking, eating, drinking, everything that much easier. And so what I've done, wow, wasn't expecting that lag. Haven't had that happen before. Not on this server, not like that. What I got going on here? Is I have a mock-up of my kitchen. And so we'll be recreating that whole sequence in just a moment. So, you'll notice that this isn't exactly like my kitchen over there, but it's pretty close. The refrigerator would be over a little bit, you know, and the water would be crushed a little closer to the wall, but that's not the point. I put shutters on this window here because it helps keep the noise out, because I got huge quarries over there. Found that it was really difficult to compete with the noise. It's another reason we're kind of enclosed here. But I tried to make this look as similar to my kitchen as possible. And I love my kitchen. The reason I'm doing these videos is because I'm new to Rust, new to modded servers. And I seen people piping last wipe, and I had no idea what they were doing. It looked pretty damn complicated, so I wasn't going to get into it. And I kind of watched some videos on it and stuff towards the end of the wipe, so that I'd be prepared to try to, you know, do some of that stuff. And what they were doing was just piping fuel to their quarries and stuff like that. And I thought, there's other stuff I can do with that. So the first thing I created was my automatic loot room. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to check it out if you got the Jpipe mod. So then I said, well, what can I do with my kitchen? You know what I mean? Because, and it really wasn't for the kitchen. It was because I got tired of transporting water all the way up, because I grow my food on the roof, and that's on the 3rd floor. And I got tired of carrying like 6 cans downstairs, outside, to get water, and carry them all back up there to give them a splash of water. So initially, it was so that I could pipe water up to barrels just like that, and I got 2 of those on the roof. And now I just use 1 can, fill it up, splash, fill it up, splash, fill it up, splash. You got the picture. So, when I created my kitchen, well, I love that, because there's a couple advantages to it. One, you don't got to stand there and watch your food, because it's not going to burn. As soon as it's done, it's going to transfer somewhere else and send it to the refrigerator in stacks. So, one of the things that I'm going to do different here that I didn't do over there, and I'll probably add over there, is that there's actually enough room that you can put a box under here, but it's got to be turned. You can't put one under there, but you can put one under here if it's turned. And I'm going to put it here because this makes a nice wood box. It also helps to hide the Jpipe. So you could actually put one under each one, you know. Maybe you'll put wood in one and you'll pull your charcoal into the other or something. You don't really have to, but that's not a bad setup in itself, just having the one box there. So, in my automatic loot room video, there's a spot in the loot room, because you come in with your loot, you toss it all in there and stuff, and it automatically gets sorted. But there's a box in there that you put your raw and cooked meat in, you know, that you've got from out in the field, you know, just throwing shit in there. And that sends it down to another box outside, which sends the raw meat to your barbecues and the cooked meat to your refrigerator. But then you got to have a second box out there that takes your cooked meat from your barbecues down to another box, which also sends it to the refrigerator, because they're too close together to try to send it to the refrigerator. I could put the blue one on the left, I could send that to the refrigerator, but I could not do the one on the right. So that's the reason for the boxes, and you put them outside to keep your kitchen looking pretty. And then you pipe in the water, and everything's all good. But that's what we're going to do here real quick. And if your server has the Jpipe mod, and you haven't, the reason I'm doing this is because if you have the Jpipe mod on your server, and you're not using it because you don't know what it is or how to use it, that's what these videos are for, to give you a little idea of some of the things you can do. Because you're just transferring from one box or container to another. Now you cannot transfer water into a box as a filter, you know, as a storage place, and then to another water container. You can't put it in a box. It has to be a container that holds water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down first, and I'm going to place, this whole mock-up is set for doing electricity mock-ups, and downstairs is the the mock-up I have for my auto loot sorting room. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this. But I'm thinking just putting one box like right in here. And mine, I have them much further apart. And I think I can put them a lot closer together here and make this a little more compact and still, you know, make it all completely understandable as to what's happening. So it doesn't matter exactly where you place it. You just want it outside and away from the wall so that you can hook those up. Now I have unhooked the one that I had from the auto loot sorting room video because I needed to build back here, and so I took it out of there. I added stairs to the front of this to make it easier for me to get around. Ooh, it looks like I took the pipe out of here and forgot to put them back. Oh, that's right, because they wouldn't let me when I was building. So yeah, I will put my pipes back in. But yeah, I took all those pipes out, looks like. Okay, now to use the Jpipe mod, if you have it on your server, bring up your chat and /P enter. It's going to tell you to smack the first container, and you do that with your repair hammer. Anything else, you know, doesn't work. And then we want to hit the second container, which, as you saw in that video, because I know you saw it. If not, you cut out of this and went there. No, you didn't. Don't do stupid shit. Excuse me. So that creates a pipe. Now, that pipe is right now it accepts anything from that box to this box. But we're gonna make it only accept raw meat and cooked meat, because you're gonna send all that other stuff through the loot sorting room that I showed you how to build. Now, your pipe, right now it's coming from the first object we hit to the second one. You can also reverse that and things like that. We'll get to that. Excuse me. But each one of these upgrades is a different transfer rate. So if you want to get this stuff to move from one to the other as fast as possible, then you want it to be armor. But if you can't afford it, then anything. But you cannot filter the items to what you want unless it's at least upgraded to wood. Still going to be a slow transfer rate, but if that's what you can afford, it works. So I'll show you what I mean. See, down here under item filter, there you grade out. You can't do anything. And you can change the direction so it goes from here up to there, but that makes no sense, so don't do that. Click off of it. You don't hit escape, because that won't get you anywhere. You click off the side of that, and it'll close it out. So while you got it highlighted there, we want to upgrade it. And each one of those upgrades is, like I said, it's a different transfer rate. Boy, dry throat this morning. See, now we got an item filter. Okay. And I'm going to filter it to accept all forms of meat, cooked and raw. That way I can, from my loot sorting room, I can toss anything I want in there, and it'll come here. Now what we're doing here is we are not putting anything over there. Notice the numbers never changed. I have one piece of this because I made sure I took it. It's not going over there. What it's actually doing is putting an image of what this accepts. Okay? So right now it accepts all forms of meat, cooked and raw. But that's all it accepts. Now you can hit escape to get out of this menu. So, what we got is from the loot room, it's accepting from here, but we want to do the same thing. I should do the same thing upstairs. It really doesn't make sense for me to put one in though, because the raw meat you can just cook on your grill, and the cooked meat you can just stand there and put it in your own refrigerator unless you're just too damn lazy. But that's all you need to do from there. But we need to go from here up to the barbecues. So again, it's open up your chat, /P, enter. I do have it bound so that all I have to do is hit P and it automatically comes up, but I think it's better for me to actually show you. So that is the first container. Now we got to hit the second one, which will be the first barbecue. Oop, God, I always do that. Put that wreath back on the door. They make it too easy to pick that up. We should have to hold E, you know, like we do on other things, because I ripped that thing off of there so many times. So we're going to hit this one. Oop. Second container. Now, like I say, I prettied this up, so you can't actually upgrade the pipe from here. You got to do it outside where everything's going to be all uglied up. But you can see that ain't bad. Now all we want it to accept is raw meat. Okay. Oh, it's not taking it there. There we go. Item filter, raw meat only, because it's going to a barbecue. Notice the numbers aren't changing because we're not putting even a single one of those over there. It's just you have one of those in your pack, you create an image of it, that's what this accepts. Okay, so that's all it will accept. I'm going to go ahead and put in the second line, just to keep it all nice and parallel and looking pretty and stuff. /P. Hit the first box, you'll see it says down there, hit the second container. But not only does this work very effectively, it also looks really cool in your house. And upgrade that. And this one is only going to take raw meat. Now, I was using a different source for my cooking, but the barbecue has more space. And when I was using the smaller cooking source, if you put in more than one type of meat, it would get clogged up. And right now I've got it set. The way I look at it is, you could put like a box down there to store your meat, because if you got a lot of something, you might as well just let it cook all that, you know. But you'll figure out what you want to do with yours. But that's what we're going to do there, raw meat to the second one. And that's all it accepts. Now, I really should probably have a second box to make things a lot easier, because I don't want to have those cannot, okay, those cannot send another line back to this box. Okay, you can only have one going to each item. So if I got one coming from this to that, now on your quarries and stuff, of course you can have one going to your fuel, you know, from a line to your fuel. You can have a line from your tank that has your ore in it to your furnace and whatnot and things like that. You just can't have it go to the same spot. Like you can't go fuel to fuel and then fuel to fuel, like trading back and forth. It won't work. You can go fuel to fuel and then fuel to box, box to fuel. See, and then you can create a circle, which is what I did with my quarries for a while, and it got to where somewhere in there you lose fuel. And it would be like one would run, then they would shut off, and the other would run, then the other one would run. So I got done with that. So I'm going to put another box out here. I think I have to create one. What are we on here? I'm going to create the same box, just to keep things looking the same. I don't think I need any more than that, though. So we're going to just put that box down there. I might need another one, but I think that's it. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other pipe into the refrigerator first on that other box. Oh, let's hit that first, or we're just smacking boxes. This one we want to go to the refrigerator. Because remember, from the loot room, it accepts both cooked and uncooked. So now we have to figure out what we want to do with the cooked meat. Well, we're going to tell it to go straight to the refrigerator. So this one only accepts cooked meat. And that would be all the lines that we're running to the first box. Okay. First two, or we got one coming in from the bottom. That's the line from the loot sorting machine. Okay. Which accepts all kinds of meat, raw and cooked. But the two lines going up to the barbecues only accept raw meat. The box now has raw meat and cooked meat in it, sending the raw meat to the barbecues. The cooked meat it's sending to the refrigerator. Okay, now the second box we have to use. I think I'm going to put another light out here somewhere, because it's getting kind of dark and I'm trying to do a video here. See if I have any lights on me. Do I have anything? Nope. I do have fuel, so I can create something real quick. Or I could steal one off of another post or something. I could just steal this one. And make it easier. It's getting kind of dark out here to be doing a video, so I'm going to put that thing right down here. Just to make things a little easier. Now this one, we have to go, now you don't have to start up there, but it just find it easier to go to your starting point rather than, doing it the other. You can do it the other way and then, change the direction on it. Again, you have to use your repair hammer. The second container, in this case it'll be the second box, where it'll be sending cooked food. And it only accepts cooked food. Otherwise, your barbecue will be sent raw meat, which it will automatically start sending here. We can't have that. Okay, so what did I forget? I knew I forgot to do something. Oh, forgot to tell these two going up to the barbecues to auto start. Okay, that should be correct. Auto start. Oops. And that's why you don't hit escape. Auto start. It should be able to do the same thing for this one. If I get the right one, let me make sure we're on the right one. There was some raw food up there, so that's correct. Auto start. Oh, again, I keep hitting escape. Okay, because we want, when the meat gets down here and it sends it up to your grills, you want them to auto start. You want them to cook that stuff. Now, it's going to auto start if you got wood in there, and it's not going to shut off. So you got to remember that part. But the cool part is it's not going to burn your food. Just immediately when it's done, it's going to start sending it down to that other box. So now we got food coming down from the first box. We want to do it to the second one. Oh, she will be a mess of pipes, let me tell you. But all that matters is that it functions. Got a little ugly mess out back. And you could even build around that so that it's inside of a small building out back if you didn't want it seen. It's not a big deal, really. It's in a part of the house you don't really visit that often, the back. Oop, didn't register first container. There we go. And again, this one's only going to accept cooked meat. I always jump up here because bears. All right. Cooked meat. And then all we have is one more from that second box going to the refrigerator. And you really don't even really have to set it what it takes, because that box that we just clicked on only accepts raw meat, and so you really don't have to filter it. Come on. Why is it not accepting this? Oh, pesky Santa. Easy to spot this time of day, I guess. That helps. So it shouldn't need an item filter, because all it accepts is cooked meat. So I'm not even going to filter it. Just showing you that you can. But it's like a redundant step, because it only accepts raw meat or cooked meat. So it's only sending cooked meat. So all we have left is the water, and I think I'll wait till it lightens up, because as you can see it's kind of dark out here and I don't want to do it by flashlights. So I will just come up here to the safety of my kitchen, let time go by a little bit. And so right now, if I send meat down there or just fire up the grill here, when it's done it'll automatically go to that box and then automatically go to the refrigerator. And we'll get to that when we get the rest of the kitchen set up, and that'll be in a couple of minutes. Stick around. Okay, so it is morning. The kitchen should be pretty much set up except for the water. And what I've got for water is I got 3 water catchers out there that I'm using, because I needed to get a bunch of water for this demonstration. I currently have it hooked up to the water catchers that I have to my house, simply to make sure that these had water for my demonstration. Otherwise, you know, there'd be very little for it to be able to pump in. When I'm done with this video, I'll be knocking one of these out so that I get back to just letting that sit on my house, and this one sit down here for the demonstration purposes. Because when I'm done with these videos, I'm leaving all of this up here so that people in the community can they can watch the videos if they want, but they can come by here and actually use these items, you know, and just sort out their items or whatever, just to see how it works, and then pick up all their items and go home and try to build it themselves, things like that. Here they can just come in here, throw all their meat in it, it'll cook their food, it'll go to the refrigerator, they can pick it up and take it home, because they'll see how it's done. So anyway, that mess. As you can see, you can actually enclose that by building the building first. You cannot build once those things are up. Okay, they have like building radius type thing that you can't get through. So if you were going to do that and kind of keep it enclosed, you actually have to do that part first. I personally don't care. That's not that bad of a mess out back. It can get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take a single line. I think I'm going to take from the big tank. It doesn't really matter which one you do, because the way I got these set up, it's from the small tank to this big tank to that one, this one back over to the other one. And the whole idea is that if water gets low at any one of these points, because it's sucking from the other, it automatically fills up, throwing the moisture in the air, which keeps your tank full. So we are going to go to this one, get the right hammer, because I don't want to hit it with the other one. She'd be gone. Okay, so let's do this. Bingo, bango, bongo. That should work. Ah, stole the wreath again. That's why I say they ought to make that so that you have to hold E to take that off, because I'm forever. And that's why I put the shutters on the windows, to help knock out that sound. Knock down the sound. Bingo, bango, bongo. Wow, so that's going to be right in front of my stairs. Guess I don't need these stairs no more. And I don't. Not a big deal. And that just sends water. Whoops, didn't mean to fall off. That just sends water from the first item that I clicked. Now again, you can go the other direction, but you don't want to do that. But we're probably already pumping in good water. Get back inside here and close that dang door so it shuts its face. We should already be getting water, you know. Top this off real quick. Doesn't take much. But, you know, this water's going to pump in real fast. Because I set those out there the day before, or yesterday. Which, you know, gave them all night to fill up. Plus, you know, they're already full up because they were taking water from my main unit up by the house. But you can see there's plenty of water coming in. So you've got constant water in your house. Okay. Now, I have 2 barrels like that up on my roof. I think I can just run over there. I don't know, I got a lot of stuff in here now. I can probably jump over this now that I got the box there. Okay. Again, I got these all hooked to each other and going to my kitchen, but I got, as you can see, I've got them also going up to those barrels. So it's a back and forth thing. So those barrels are always full. And yes, that is a car that somebody wedged up against my house. It's been here for about a week. And I can't move it because personal car doesn't have a key. So yeah, you send it up to your rooftop because I have several planters up there, wood box planters, big ones, that I grow my food on to keep people's dang fingers out of it. And my water is already sitting up there. So, I guess what I'll do is, let me go back around to the front of the automatic loot sorting room, which was this video. And I'll show you that I'll put some food in here. I don't want to put all the food in there because I want to be able to watch it transfer from other areas and stuff too. Oh, I guess I could though. I don't really need to break it down. That's a lot of dang food though. Now, if I put all of this in there, it's probably going to get clogged up at the grill, or maybe it won't accept it. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So let's just test that. Let's just throw it all in there. And the stoves or the barbecues upstairs. Oh, I don't think I have wood in them. Let me go take care of that first, because they will not fire up if you don't have wood in them. And I don't think I put any wood in them. So it kind of defeats the purpose. Did I put the wood in there? No. Got it on me. Okay, I'm going to split that wood between the two of them. And I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do. I think if I make those, I think they're in multi-stack right now. I think if I send them up there in single stack, it might be easier, and we might get more. So you do the multi-stack so that it spreads it out and you get stuff cooked faster. So I might just leave it that way, because normally, you know, you're not having every species of food and not as many as I've got there. So you'll have to test that how you want to do it, how you want to put your food in there. When I use smaller units, the food would clog up on the barbecue and put it out. So normally you're only putting in like one thing of food because you just went out there and you shot a bear. Okay, so we're just going to send some bear meat down there. That's all. Oh, and just we're going to send some bear meat, cooked bear meat also. And you'll see that that should go immediately to the refrigerator. Now you can hear that thing fired up. Might fire them both up. Or it might have sent all of it. I think it probably sent it all here because it spreads it out. Okay, it did take it single stack. So maybe it could send more meat up here. That's interesting. And it should send that, come on, the cooked meat here that I sent through. So let's go throw some more meat in there. See what happens, because it might still be set on single stack or something. I'm not sure. And so, because normally it spreads that out, and because it didn't, that tells me maybe I can throw the rest of the meat in there. Let's just try and clog it up and see what happens, where it all goes. But that's through the loot sorting room. You can do the same thing upstairs. I thought about actually putting like a food box, like taking this out and putting a food box there, and then having it piped down to the sorting room down there. Okay, now it didn't do anything here, so it's not automatically opening there. But it did put stuff up here, so now we've got different food sources. And it looks like it's putting them single stack. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Unless you've got all the food sources up there at the same time, because there should be 6 of those, so it would create 6 stacks of cooked meat, as long as it all doesn't happen at once, because you got to have room for your wood and your charcoal. But in that, okay, we're just gonna let that cook because it's single stack. That should be. Let's see what we got going on here. See, it says multi-stack. Oh, because we don't have total stacks, which would be like 3 or 4, however you want it split up. So if I was going to cook one food item at a time, you would set that for leave enough room for food, charcoal, and your finished product, and it would only cook one of those types at a time. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied with it cooking all of them, because for one, I don't worry about the cost of the wood that it uses, because I get, you know, tons and tons of wood. Now that didn't send that down there. I don't know why. Why did it spit that out? I bet it got clogged. Yeah, it got clogged. So it stops everything. It choked it. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to change those, because something is not right. That's not the way it's intended to work. But those other ones should go away. These should disappear down to that box. They are. And then they'll end up in the refrigerator. So we'll let them do that, just because we're watching it. But those would not burn, even if it was cooking right now. They still get there in time that they're still not burnt. Because all these on my other grill at the house, you know, there's no burnt food there, and they all were made the same way. So there is a problem with that, I think, in that the way it's accepting it. So I think I need to change that. I'm gonna try that. If I can find the one that goes to the other one, that would be that one, if I can get there. Let's see what that does. See, that's why I say escaping would do nothing for you. So we're going to try that and see what happens. Now you can see all this meat showed up here. I sent that straight from the box. The other ones were actually cooked here, and you'll see that there's no burnt meat. So let me go down there again. Now again, you can just put that right on your grill. You can do it outside, just throw it in the box. You can do it in your loot room that I know you also created. I should put those pipes back in. Do that real quick just because it deserves to be alive. Okay, so now we're going to just try and clog it up again. I don't have much meat here, so this test may not work, you know, great. But we got some, so we're going to try and clog it up. And I don't really need to just send any of the raw meat. I guess I can. And just send that ahead of time. Let's just send all the raw meat. And it won't send, I mean the cooked meat. And it won't send that to the grill. It'll send that straight to the refrigerator. Now we just threw all that meat in there. Let's see where it goes. I'm kind of expecting these to come on. But it's not happening. Find out what's going on down there. That means it all should be sitting here. Now it might be still. Not for sure. Let me go look. Make sure what's going on. I don't have some sort of raw meat coming in here type thing. So I don't have anything going on there either. I don't see what's going on at all. It should have all been coming here. Make sure that these are set for auto start still. Yeah, it is. It just got there. I didn't do anything. Must have been because what it was doing probably was still sending all that cooked meat that I sent through the box first. Was probably coming here. And apparently this one's not going to open. So apparently it's going to try and throw it all here. Again, it's still doing this single stack thing, and that's not how it was meant to be. So this is correct single stack. When I had it on multi-stack, it should have been doing something else. There has been problems on this server recently, and that may have something to do with it, where it's really messing with it. Because that should have been one item, and oh, no. It's still sending food up here through the lines. Because I need to go change that back to multi-stack and see if it does it correctly. Because it really still should only be sending one. If not, just be smart about it. Cook one type of food at a time. This is just an easy way to get it to get it there and cooking, and then to your refrigerator. So let's go back to multi-stack, because that's what it should have been. I keep hitting escape. Let me go back to the other one. Multi-stack, auto start. It should still fire them both up, but being finicky, I guess. So I'm going to try and clog this up again and see what happens. It may not work. It may just have to be, you know, you come in out of the field, you usually only have one dang thing on you at a time anyway. So I just heard it fire up. Now on mine, it's always just started cooking. I think it's just one type of meat. So now this should have spread them out, but it didn't. Again, it's doing the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe there's options on the grill. Nope. So I guess I'm still kind of testing that part out, but you know, usually you got like a little bit of bear meat or wolf meat or something like that. And you can slap, you know, all that in there and it'll cook like two or three species. It only has a problem when it gets clogged up, because you have too much different types of meat up here, because there are 6 types of meat, and it will create 6 types of cooked meat. And you can clog it up because you need 2 spots for charcoal and wood. So again, if you're only putting on 1 or 2 species just to cook some meat, the thing is, you don't have to watch it. It'll cook it and send it to the refrigerator. So it won't burn it. You can go do other things. You can put a big old slab of bear meat on there that you've been saving up, and then go out and do your daily chores. because it won't burn. The wood will keep burning when you're done. We should see the numbers change here. We got a few different types of meat in there. It does have to transfer from one spot down to another box. Back up here. They should be disappearing from the grill. You can make use of both grills just by putting it on there yourself if you're in a hurry to like cook some stuff. And I think if you do it that way, it automatically does spread it out. So that might be the difference. It might be the difference of this being a modded server and that just being a normal item. Well, so far I don't think I've seen the numbers change. I know we gotta have some cooked food coming down here. I do want to take something off in there and just put it on this other grill manually, which is how I normally cook in my house. I usually don't send it that way. I'm going to take that out of the equation and see if it spreads out when I put it here, because normally it does. There you go. See, now when you got to cook something fast, just put it on the grill yourself, you know, single items. Yeah, and it'll automatically spread it out. At least it's a splitter mod on our server. So now we're almost done with all the other ones anyway. But what I'll do is when the other one's done, I'll take the 161 bear meat there, put it on its own exclusive burner and let it spread out and cook more. Because the more you spread these things out, the more you cook things at once, costing you less fuel, of course. See, like those 9 pieces and stuff, they'll be going here to the fridge. I know it's coming in. That was a 9 earlier. But all that meat's being transported down to a box down there that is transporting it back up here. That was 172. Just saw that one jump up. That probably was one of them 9 stacks. Now again, it's going to burn up all your wood. That you can't change. So what do we got going there? We're down to that last piece of meat, and then I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the big chunk there out of the equation. Cool. Now I should be able to spread this out by taking this off. I'm going to take that off too. I'm going to put it back on. Now it should spread out on its own. Much easier to cook when you get a lot more going on. Can't you just smell that? Now we should watch all we have left. There should be other things trickling in. But what did we just throw on there? I think we just, see, that's up to 35 now. We threw on some pork and lots of bear meat. That's what's left to cook. But see, none of it's burnt. So, you fire it up, it's going to burn up all your wood while you're gone or whatever. But hey, you're getting charcoal out of the deal. Your food doesn't burn. And you go back to doing your daily business. I can go over here and just start doing another video. This should be full up by now. Well, pretty close. I mean, do you need that much water right now? Do you need that much water? And that's how long it took to fill, because I had those barrels sitting overnight. So I can start fill up several cans. So basically, I've got running water, all that I need. A perfect little cooking setup. Little box for wood sitting right there. Refrigerator that works. Well, I guess it doesn't keep things cool, but you know, stacks all your food for you. Yeah, get nice and warm. I live in this chilly climate. Okay. Before I get started, or actually before I get started showing you that part there, I've decided to work on the on the barbecues to fix that anti-clogging issue. Because what I've decided to do is filter it so one only takes certain items and one only takes other certain items. Because then the most either would have is probably 2 of whichever, but not 3. So if I can get this to whack-a-do, like it do. This one here, we are going to keep that. Let me go look in the fridge real quick. I know that bear is obviously the most that I get, but and pork is second, I believe. But I do kind of want to look at the. Oh, I don't have the numbers here. It's in my other fridge. I already took the meat out. But it seems to me that horse and deer, the chicken is the very least. The horse and deer, but I get more bear than anything else. So I'm going to leave pork and wolf together along with chicken in the other one. This one will be okay, so we're going to take chicken out, leave that in the other one. And that's wolf, we're going to take that out, and we're going to take pork out. This one's only going to accept these 3 types of meat, and the other one I'm going to change so it only accepts the other 3 types of meat. Okay, so this one is only going to accept. Make sure before I screw this up, I better go back down. Make sure which ones I left, not which ones I took. Because I don't want to make a mistake. Okay, so it was the bear. Bear, horse, and deer I left. So I'm going to get rid of bear, horse, and deer. So now this will, these are the second and third most popular types of meat. They'll come here, and the least that I pick up is chicken because I just don't like having to run around trying to find the damn thing. And the other one is the most popular meat, which is bear for me. And horse meat almost never, and deer are very scarce. I think that will alleviate that problem. So there you have it, folks. Just something simple that you can use with the Jpipe mod. I think it makes my house look cool. I think that looks just bitchin'. Do we still say that? That's what we used to say back in the 60s and 70s or something, man. That's bitchin'. Anyway, hope that gives you some ideas, maybe some things you can do, some things you can try. It's all about having fun. But I'm trying to do things that make my life easier to give you more time to go out and do the things you like to do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Boy, that smells good. Ooh, that was getting a little chilly in here.